All right, I'm super pumped. I'm gonna get to do something I'm gonna work towards doing something that I've wanted to have since I had the ability to even come up with it. I'm gonna discover a lake. I want to discover a lake that I think has never been discovered before. It had always been my dream as a teenager to find a lake that was worth fishing, that I could come back to, that I could catch a fish with every cast. That was the dream anyway. I don't know if those exist anymore, but I think I found a lake that qualifies, worth trying to reach. I've talked to my M&R who look after the natural resources, and they have said that they don't have records of this lake. I split some hairs with them, asked them a bunch of questions. We compared lakes that were in the vicinity that had been, they had been doing their netting, the gill netting, and they know they have records for, and they found brook trout in them. So there's a really strong possibility that this lake also has brook trout. It also has no access that I know of, no trail, no roads, nothing, no way of getting there. So my aim for this trip is to cut into this lake. I've allocated 7 days for this trip. I'm going to set up a base camp at the edge of the unknown, and then from there I'm going to spend probably at least 2 days. I hope to get there on the first day. That's the objective anyway. Whether that happens or not might be a different story. So if I can get there on the first day, first day I'm going to set up my base camp. Second day I'm going to try to reach the lake, and then if I do reach the lake right away, I'm going to be working to improve a trail that will permit me to bring a canoe in. Easier said than done. It's a fairly long distance. I'm not giving you any specifics. I do not want anybody to find this lake. I'm not even going to tell you where it is at all. I'm going to show up in the woods. Probably on the next video, you're going to see me in the bush. I'm going to be in the bush the entire time, and then I'm going to show up at this lake. I may film some portaging in, some of the maintenance. I'm not going to give you any landmarks. I'm going to tell you where I'm near. Nothing, because like I said, these lakes come almost never. The only person that I've tipped off about this is the M&R guy, and he actually expressed some interest in discovering this lake as well. He's a diehard brook trout fisherman just like me, and if you know anything about brook trout fishing, when you find the place, you don't tell anybody about the place because you're going to get company. So the history of some of the lakes that I've been fishing, I used to fish lakes that were opened up by logging. The loggers came in, they opened up road access. At first they were ATV trails usually, then they come back with the heavy machinery that would permit trucks to get back. So as you saw from probably one of my summer camping videos, that's exactly what happened. So a lake that used to be pretty decent got worse over 20 years. I've got pictures of my grandfather fishing back 60, 70 years ago roughly, stringers full of fish and lakes that were not terribly difficult to reach. So there's a strong possibility that if no one else has reached this lake, because like I say, there's no known trail, that I can be into some really nice brook trout fishing, 3-pound, 4-pound fish, 5-pound fish. It's not a big lake, so it's not going to have trophy fish, but brook trout fishing, trophy caliber is about 3 pounds. I'm hoping that's there. It could be a dud. I could be wasting my time, but hey, I'm going to have some adventure, and I'm going to have a lake that's for me and my family, that they're going to be the only people who know how to get there. I might tip off some friends. I might bring some friends back. Who knows? But for the time being, I want to keep this to myself. Some specifics about the lake. I can't really get into that. It's in a location that a region that I can get to, but most people are not going to try to get to it because there are other lakes in that area that are easier to get to. It should be a fairly deep lake. Other lakes that I've fished that are similar to that held big fish, although like I say, over time they've gotten worse to the point where I'm not even bothering coming back to them anymore. And so that's what's kind of spurred me onto this trip. So I really want to find a lake that I can have to myself that's worth fishing. I've studied the maps, I've got them in my mind, I've studied Google Earth, I've looked over old maps, so I have a pretty good idea of how to get there. I don't have electronic GPS, but I do have an analog compass. I'm going to be using some twine. I'll show you that, so to help me lay down a line that I want to follow, because if you've ever gone through the woods, you know that when you go through an area, you tend to go through it different each time until you've got some landmarks in your mind that you can follow. So I'm going to use the twine. I'll lay down the twine. I'm going solo. I hope I don't get lost. I'm going to let my family know where I'm at, so if they need to come find me, they can. But yeah, the twine should keep me in line. I'll lay that down and follow it. Not the entire way, but most of the way. And yeah, I think this is totally doable. I think it's going to be a ton of work. But I don't think anybody's done it. I think, the people that are in the area would have gone elsewhere and not bothered to bushwhack, which is what's going to be required. I mean, if I find sign, it might be from 50 years ago, 60, 70 years ago, maybe somebody went back, but not in recent times. Like I say, there's no trail. So this is a chance, is great. I mean, it's something that, one in a million people, I don't know, maybe 1 in 200,000 people might have a chance to do, actually take the initiative to do, and it's not going to be easy. And I couldn't convince anyone to come with me. I tried my brother, I tried a friend, but everybody has their priorities. Everybody has to go to work. Everybody has, and if they're going to do something on their spare time, they don't want to bushwhack. They don't want to spend 2 or 3 days trying to find a lake that maybe has something in it worth fishing. They want to go and relax, and take it easy, and recuperate. But to me, this is it. This is me relaxing. This is me recuperating. This is me exploring and adventuring and taking a risk. So I'm really hopeful that this produces. I'm still going to come out a winner, even though maybe I don't find anything. Maybe the lake's really shallow, doesn't have fish in it. I'm still going to come out a winner because I'm going to have taken a risk, and I'm going to be exploring and giving my DNA what it needs, is to be out and to be in the woods. So hopefully I get some good weather. Hopefully I don't get lost. But regardless, I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna have some peace and quiet, and I'm gonna be exploring by myself. So I hope you join me. I'll document it. I'm filming this as a preface because I want to preserve my battery. So when I get out there, I want to do documenting the actual trip, not prefacing it. So anyway, here it is. I hope you'll join me with the series, and I hope we can find something worthwhile sharing with you, my audience.